Hey, greetings, everyone. Lieutenant Colonel Alan West, Senior Fellow at the Media Research Center. Maybe some of you have heard of that military mantra of divide and conquer. And when I think about how that is applied to the political situation we see in the United States of America, well, it falls right into this very disgusting aspect and the pandering of identity politics. The left in America has been very good at looking at certain demographics and seeing how they can divide us and conquer us and split us out. Think about the whole 1% movement, which really does aid them in their wealth redistribution scheme, which is the number one tenet of socialism, that economic model that, well, as you can see in Venezuela, has not done very well. But they will continue to look at any way that they can split us up, any way that they can take a certain segment of a population, society, and cast it against each other. Just last week at Al Sharpton's National Action Network conference in New York City, we saw an incredible display of the disgusting identity politics in the United States of America. When most, and maybe all of those Democrat nominees, candidates that were there at his conference, were trotted across the stage, and Al Sharpton asked them one question: would they support a policy? Would they seek to institute reparations here in the United States of America? As a proud black man born and raised down in Georgia, I find that to be condescending. I find it to be very offensive. And what's even more disturbing is that there were people that were receptive to this idea. When I look at some of my great heroes from the black community, such as Booker T. Washington, a man born into slavery who became one of the greatest orators and educators in the United States of America, I don't think he cared for reparations. I think all he cared for was an equality of opportunity achieved and attained through a good education, an education that developed entrepreneurship and self-reliance. When I think about someone like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who talked about the content of character, not about the color of skin, but yet we still revert back to these policies of skin color. But the thing is, when we succumb, surrender, and subjugate ourselves to identity politics, especially in the black community, it means that we are giving people leverage. We are giving people power over us. We are once again allowing them to enslave us, but in a different manner. It's not a physical bondage or a physical enslavement. It's an economic enslavement. What you see people like Al Sharpton and all those presidential candidates promote is a 21st century economic plantation. Because once again, they are preying on the mentality of people considering themselves to be slaves. And that's not the United States of America. The United States of America is about individual freedom. It is about individual liberty. It's about individual economic empowerment. But when we have people that are instituting the policies that are rooted in this identity politics, then what happens is that they get us to surrender our will and our determination to them. I find it very unbelievable that a 29-year-old member of the United States House of Representatives from the Bronx, New York, educated at Boston University with an economics degree, would all of a sudden be so pandering that she would attempt to have some fake Southern black accent.
The fight's been long, y'all. This is what organizing looks like.
That's right.
This is what building power looks like. This is what changing the country looks like. I'm proud to be a bartender. Ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with working retail, folding clothes for other people to buy. There is nothing wrong with preparing the food that your neighbors will eat.
But then again, Hillary Clinton did the exact same thing when she butchered a Negro spiritual song.
We shall overcome.
And then also, during a radio interview, she talked about how she walks around with a thing of hot sauce in her pocketbook.
What's something that you always carry with you?
Hot sauce. Hot sauce.
Really?
Yes.
Now,
yes.
listen, I just want you to know, people are going to see this and say, okay, she's pandering to black people again.
Okay. Is it working?
Really? Hot sauce in your pocketbook? This is what I found to be so disgusting. The abject pandering. Everything focused on skin color or some sort of physical difference or even a behavioral difference. But when we allow the people of the progressive socialist left to balkanize us so that they can divide us and conquer us, for their own control and their own power, then we will lose the greatest blessing, the greatest gift that God has given the world, the United States of America. Let's reject this pandering and this principle of identity politics. Let us not allow the media, who is complicit in this whole agenda, to carry us down this road. Because in the end, we're stronger together than we are divided.